very soon. And we are live and recording right now. So perfect. So hello, happy Thursday, everyone. I am Sonia and we have Brianna here. Wanted to say welcome to our High Frequency Thursday, and today is quite the energy. Every time we come on, there's been different things, and of course we have different months, different moons, different seasons. And today I'm going to let Brianna explain a little bit about what this session is going to be like, but make sure you say hello, whether you're watching live or replay. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and I'm just going to go and remove myself for a few seconds while I share this in our group. So be right back. And Brianna, my lovely friend and co-host for these, I don't know, 2-3 months we've been doing this, so take it over and let them know. All right, I'll be right back.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to High Frequency Thursday. I am Brianna, and we're gonna get this started today by just talking a little bit about the energy that's going on in the world. We have summer just started. How is everybody's summer going? Like Sonia said, if you are watching us either live or on the replay, say what's up in the comments. Let us know who's out there. How are you doing today? How is summer treating you? Is summer one of your favorite seasons or least favorite seasons? I would probably have to put it on right in the middle somewhere. I don't like the hot weather, but we also experienced a new moon yesterday. So the moon has some powerful energy over us, as most of us know and are beginning to recognize. And I find it interesting to learn about the different cycles of the moon and the different energy and how you can work with it and what it means. And so I've written down a few things about the new moon, just some keywords and what it means and how we can work with that energy. And also we entered the same day that summer started, we entered into Cancer season, the zodiac sign Cancer. And so I've also written down some keywords about Cancer energy, and together we can figure out, the Cancer new moon and put it all together. So that's kind of fun. I feel like the new moon and Cancer, they do work well together. They have a lot of similarities in their energy properties. So I'm going to talk about that first. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments if there's anyone out there watching. How are you doing today? Are you feeling this new energy? What are you up to? Is it feel intense to you? How about you, Sonia? I already know that answer a little bit, but I'm going to let you answer for yourself.
Me and my kids may not be on the same page this week, and I'm being reminded of that. So put your favorite emoji in the comments if you are also having crazy energy with kids. But I'm going to say lots of things are happening, but at the same time, I'm handling them very like a pro in a way. And I know that everything's got my back, like whether it's like my business partners, my husband, my friends, my kids, even though sometimes things happen, like I do see the vision and the end of the tunnel. And I just know it's just shaky, but this, and I'm like, there seems to be bipolar energy. And then my periods too. I don't know if some people go with the moon or the new moon, the full moon or the new moon. So, and sometimes you can switch. So that's been interesting too. But definitely lots of things happening. And you might see me itching. I just unpacked groceries. I want to show you. I don't know if you're going to see.
Oh, man.
How swollen I am. I've got 10 of these in my body right now, just from walking in. Like I didn't even have a chance to put any of the essential oils or like the stuff I put on usually. And we just got back from town. So if you see me, I took my shower yesterday. It's not because I'm not clean. I'm just just got attacked by those little
bug bites are so uncomfortable. Yeah, and I swell up like that too. Yeah,
right.
That's
how about
terrible.
You? Like, what about the energy? Because I know you mentioned something about your kids too, right? And I'm like, oh, we're definitely feeling it all around the world.
Yeah, I mean, with the intensity of things that are going on around, like politically around here, I feel like that's got people all kind of, like tied up. I don't really want to talk about that subject, but it does play into it, that people are pretty intense right now. Kids,
Right.
They have been tearing the house down. I mean, it is summertime. You got to get outside and play and get that energy out. And so I don't blame them entirely, but like you said, you kind of stole the words from my mouth that it's intense and there's a lot going on. I mean, we have some stuff going on with our house that we are working on and have been dealing with, and just things with family and from every angle. But I'm dealing with it a lot better than I would have before. I know we were talking last time about what have you learned or what do you do differently than you do now? Like, what have you learned and how do you act differently than a year ago? And I would have been just freaking out. Like, don't get me wrong. There's definitely challenges and it's hard sometimes when you're sitting downstairs and you're trying to work and you hear kids just screaming and yelling. They're supposed to be doing the dishes and it turns into like some war zone up there.
Like, he wants water right now, so yeah.
Hi, Mika.
Want to say hi, Mika?
No
he just
way.
wants water. No.
I'm just thirsty. But yeah, you find ways to stay calm. You find ways to shift your perspective, the problems. What was that?
You choose your battles.
Exactly. And understand that the problem's still going to be there and need a solution and a fix, whether you're pissed off about it or not. Excuse my language.
I hear you.
But
we're being real.
Yeah, I mean, with Mika in the background, I don't know if he understands what I'm saying because it's in English, but either way, I don't like to swear in front of kids. It's kind of swearing, but
I think this week's okay. He's heard it, I'm sure. Some words are part of my vocabulary now, especially in the last 2 years. So it's all good. But we got to give a warning and disclaimer on our videos. We're just keeping it real, and sometimes we're motivated to say how we really feel about things.
Yes, I do try to keep it filtered because, I want my message to still come across. And that's part of, learning too, that you can dial back your intensity when you learn about yourself and to work with your own energy. But I have this list here of keywords that I wanted to share with all of you before we move on. So new moon started yesterday, the 29th of June, and the keywords for new moon energy is self-discovery, beginnings, action. So that's where I feel like some of the intensity comes from, because you're being called to take action. Clarity, stimulation, goals, intention.
Right.
And so it's all about, like, what do you desire? If you want to flow with the energy instead of being pushed or dragged along, help yourself and take action. Sometimes I let myself get wound up, and sometimes you just need to go outside. Sometimes you need to take a walk, journal it out. That's a good way to work with your goals. I have actually been reading the Think and Grow Rich book the past week or so, and I'm at the section where they're talking about what do you desire, and that is the question for the new moon. What do you desire? Visualize your goals and then be able to write down a plan and take some action steps. And I know that I get overwhelmed sometimes when I have big projects and big ideas, but I've been reminded I get signs and just reminders to slow down and take the first step. Just take the first step. Do what you can to get going, and you will feel better by the end of it.
Definitely. I feel that too. And sometimes you think you can't, and then you realize, okay, well, that was easier than I thought. It's just you're used to thinking you're a procrastinator sometimes, and it's okay that's why I think breaks and self-cares are great. And you need to do these without feeling guilty. But sometimes you got to go and just do the things. And it depends what it is too. Like some weeks I'm like super women, and then other weeks I'm like the goddess that's doing self-care, and it's like it always self balances out. And I do believe without like your reading of all these stars and moons and how energy and signs are aligned, people talk about being in their, I'm a Libra, they talk about being in their Cancer, in their this moon, in their that, because of their date and the time they were. I have no clue about that, but I still work with all of these because my intuition grabs on. And I think it's kind of cool. And I didn't understand that before. So my brain kept wanting to keep going. But then now it's like I allow myself, and I kind of enjoy these moments, because I used to be sick a lot with my endometriosis. I spent lots of time in bed and wasted lots of work days, family days, any type of days, right? School. So now it's like I have some down days, but my down days are for self-care, not illness, because I prevent. Like that's the growth I feel. And now I want to learn more. And Mika wants me to do something. Let me take back over. I'm going to go and put him with his dad and brother that he should be with right now.
No
I'll be right
problem.
back, but I'm sure you want to piggyback on what I just said.
Yeah, of course. Like she said, just getting the things done and staying on top of it helps I feel like it helps my mental health. And then so, like she said, you're not recovering on your down days, and learning to take care of yourself all the time. And that's part of the Cancer side of it all. And we are, like she was talking about, the different zodiac signs. Cancer season is June 21st to July 22nd. So if we have any Cancers out there, say what's up, or let us know what your sign is. Do you know a lot about astrology? Are you interested in your zodiac sign? I think it's interesting, like Sonia said, she doesn't know a lot about it, but when she hears that it aligns with her energy, that's like a confirmation of your intuition and just flowing with that energy. And so I think that's really cool. It kind of reminds me of getting like a tarot reading or an oracle reading, where you know something, but then it's confirmed by someone else or by like another principle, or something that someone tells you, and you're like, yes, that's right on track with what I've been thinking and what I've been doing. And it gives you that extra like burst of motivation to be like, yes, this is the right track. Sometimes we need those confirmations. We have a Virgo, Melody. She's a Virgo, and a Scorpio, Tanya. What's up to Michelle and Tanya and Melody? Thanks for watching with us. I am a Taurus, which is an earth sign. And then my moon is Cancer. And so your moon sign, if you know what it is, that is like how you deal with emotions and how you deal with like your emotional side and your sensitivity and how vulnerable you are and just things like that. It's like your inner, it's not your outer personality, it's like your inner being. And the Cancer sign happens to actually be a moon sign. So it's at home when it is in the moon. So that makes it, I feel like, even more intense because it's like where it's supposed to be. And Cancer is a feminine energy. And it deals with your home life, your emotions, your intuition, and life's simple pleasures. And the sign of Cancer, some keywords that are often used with the zodiac sign Cancer are sensitivity, comfort, self-care. We've talked a lot about self-care. Cancers are known for being a homebody, which I can totally relate to. Nurturing, loving, laughter, loyalty. So while Cancers and water signs, they get a reputation of being like very overly emotional and sensitive and just acting out of your emotions. And I can totally relate to that. The younger me a few years ago, I was definitely doing that. And we had talked about the difference between reacting and responding. And I was
Right.
definitely a reactor. And why doesn't everybody care about my feelings? Like, I have these big feelings and I just want to be heard and understood. And
Right.
you learn to balance it out. I mean, you have to, otherwise you just drive yourself crazy. So while it's known for sensitivity and vulnerability and emotions and all that, like watery stuff, as they would say, cancers in this time is about like being at home and loving on your family and enjoying the simple pleasures like foods that you like to eat, or since it's summertime, gardening, or any habits, interests, hobbies that you have, taking care of yourself, taking that extra time to, maybe take a bath instead of a shower, give yourself that extra time to reset and just be intentional about taking care of yourself and nurture yourself. So what are some ways that you are taking care of yourself, Sonia, and everybody else out there? Or what are some ways you want to, if you haven't been able to find the time or make the time?
Well, for me, I want to have time where I do a little bit of meditation and like things like that, but I want to do something that I feel that is a treat to me, and that's sunbathing. I want to do like a 20-minute of uninterrupted sunbathing, because last year we were moving our stuff, we sold our house, and the year before, like, it's just, I didn't, with the baby too, I keep calling Mika baby, he's 3, he's my baby, but with him being there, and the first summer he was sick, he was allergic to milk and soy, so we didn't know, so I never had that. And the other place, anyways, a long story short, for about 10-15 years I wasn't able to have a place in my own home where I could feel comfortable sunbathing. And I'm someone that I tan easily, but I also love just feeling the vitamin, the sun, just that. And after 20 minutes, it's warm. I need water. I need to go to AC. But that little self-care, because I've always put it off. And I said one day and one day and one day. And that's what I've been doing now. We didn't have a lot of big Sundays, and it's in my gazebo, so I don't get eaten alive, but I still compromise. But that little moment is for me my self-care, because I've already added the bath, Epsom salt, essential oils, lighting candles, of course, incense. Other things that I now do is exfoliate. I've been wanting to do more lymphatic drainage and different things like that. Sometimes it's a tea to give my lungs a break, because I'm a cannabis user. So sometimes I, and I want to do that. So other self-care is reading a book. I want to start one book, and I have one. We'll talk about it in a bit after. I know Brianna wanted to, but reading a full book in one sitting, I don't remember the last time I've done that. So that to me, self-care, choosing some crystals and different rings and things for me to be able to remind myself if I'm having a stressful moment, or and the food I eat too. So I know the days, like sometimes I let myself have chocolate, like that time of the month, and cravings, and I don't feel guilty when I do anymore. So like, it's a big mindset. I think the biggest self-care of all is mindset. If you can change that, then you can accomplish pretty much anything you want. And now it's like, I don't know, it's just easier. It's not easy, it's easier because of all the tools. Lots more self-care, like foot baths and just little things like that. I like to use nature, sitting against a tree, hugging a tree, talking to squirrels. I've got like 10 birds right now just outside my window. So gardening, and then growing food that I know is going to help the future, my family, beneficial, medicinal. Shit hits the fan, well, I'm going to start eating my plants around here, like we're, and all of these things. For me, self-care is future, is knowing that you're planting the right seeds today in your brain and in your body, on your body. And I'm shielding myself too. So I know I've said more than like a lot of people do, and some people do even more than what I do, but that's where I'm at in life, and that's how I cope. That's how I'm happy every single day, and I don't feel like I need a vacation. And I learned to listen when I'm tired. So I have boundaries now. And people that I work with or my family, that they know. They don't get upset when I don't answer anymore, even if I've seen the message. They don't know what I'm up to. I could be in the garden with the baby on my back and this and that, and seeing your message, I'm on a call. So self-care is putting yourself first and working on that mindset. If I could put all this wrapped up in a pretty ball.
Well, that was awesome. I mean, I love that you said that it's planting seeds. It's thinking about the future. Self-care is
right
for the future you. I mean, it's for now, but it's also, it is serving you in the future. The things that you love to do, like you said, they'll always be surrounding you, and you'll have that great energy around you if you are continually planting seeds for yourself, because we all need that. We all need something to look forward to. We all need something to, just remind us of the simple pleasures of life. You said a lot of the things that, like, I want to do exactly what you said, the sunbathing for 20 minutes, because I, as a mom of young children as well, I couldn't tell you the last time I even had a bathing suit on.
Right.
And, aside from just the body, the image, challenges that come with being a mom, but also the, not having time and not prioritizing yourself at first.
Right.
And it's just amazing when you think about it in terms of such small time blocks, because there's been so many times that I've wasted 20 minutes on the internet, surfing Facebook like it's my job. Like, that's not going to do anything. That's not planting seeds. It's not helping the future me at all. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm at a point where I would rather spend my time taking care of myself and knowing that 20 minutes is extremely valuable, and go out there, get some vitamin D. I tan really easily too, and so that's awesome. It doesn't take a lot, but It just feels so good now. I don't remember the sun feeling like so good. Maybe I have just missed it that much that I went outside. I think it was like right around the summer solstice, or on the day before or the day of. I just got a chair, parked it in the middle of the driveway, and just sat there like this and just absorbed. It was probably like 5 minutes, but I felt good after that. Yeah. I mean, it was so hot, but the sun it's awesome. And I like to go outside now intentionally. There's a lot of times where, unfortunately, if I don't have somewhere to go outside of the house, I might not necessarily like leave and drive anywhere. And so that doesn't get me out of my house. But now I intentionally go outside, put my feet on the grass, or I'll go check the mail without any shoes on. I did that right before we went live, and so I was able to ground a little bit. And while I was out there, I saw a cardinal, and that's one of my angel signs. So that was awesome. And reading too. I have been reading lately, and just taking the time to do that, even if it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I still feel like I'm getting that. If I can't sleep, I'm still able to like rest and relax and do something that I enjoy and give my brain a break. I'm known for reading educational books and like fact books. So I've been working on changing it so I can read a story, and use my imagination. I used to say that I didn't have an imagination, and it's not really that vivid, but how could it be if I don't work with it? Like, I'm not really one to watch the like superhero movies and the things that aren't real. And I just watch like real life movies and science books and stuff. So sometimes you just got to let your mind wander, like, I think that's important. I'm actually reading Hocus Pocus 2. Ooh. I don't know if there's any. I think everybody that knows me knows I love Halloween.
Yes. And that was one of my favorite movies when I was younger. I love it. I haven't seen the second one, so I need to see it.
It hasn't come out yet, but the book has been out for a while. Yeah. Okay. It comes out like September 30th or something like that. So I'm reading the second story, and I I think that's fun. I've never been one of those people that's like, I've read the book before the movie, let's compare the two. So hopefully that doesn't ruin it or anything. But
Yeah.
my computer ran out of battery, so I can't see the comments. I don't know if there's anything you want to address in the comments before we move on to your big story.
Well, I was gonna ask, what about their self-care? And I know that I noticed earlier there was a delay, like you were saying their signs and moon, and I wasn't seeing them for like minutes later. So if anyone wants to put their self-care, if there's things maybe we said that you're gonna do or you haven't done, you wanted to do, or we haven't mentioned and that you do, please comment them, because people watch the replays and these are always tips and they see them and it's helpful. And then, yeah, I love reading. I don't usually do a lot of reading per se when I finish my massage therapy course. Do you guys know that a massage therapist does, I don't know if it's exactly or very similar amount of hours of studying of the body's anatomy as a doctor. Doctors has a bunch of different course, but when it comes to anatomy, I've had as much time and education in there. And it's just crazy. Like our books were like, all the muscles and all of that. And it was like, when I was done, I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'm not opening up a book again. I don't want to read. And then I fell into The Secret years later in a yard sale, just fell into my life. My mom kept gifting me books and that. And then I started reading later, but I've always ended up on Audible. And lately I've been having a lot of my friends that are authors and big people also in the world, and some of them like you might know years from now, some of them you might know already. And I thought it was kind of cool to have people that I had pictures with or got to meet and hugged, and I had books from them. And they're all, when you read someone's book, it's because they've experienced something, and then you can save yourself time, especially the self-help, the self-development, the business books or anything. Like when you're reading someone, unless it's like a story like you're saying, but I'm talking about these types of books. And I'm going to be writing my own book. I already have chapters ready. It's been in the works in my notepads and journals, and I think a lot of us has our own book. We just haven't taken the action yet to do it, or maybe you don't know what to do. But what Brianna was going to say, the big story that we have is I just have got my first book that I am a co-author, and it actually arrived at my doorstep 2 days ago. So I am super, super excited about this because I have 150 copies here in Canada that I will be signing myself. And you know what's even funnier is that I have terrible handwriting. I'm left-handed, okay, ambidex, dyslexic, and I have a carpal tunnel in this hand. So it will look like gold to you because it will be so special, but it just finds funny that I'm going to be signing books for people that I love and I know. So the first 150 people who will get this book will be getting a signed copy. So I still don't know how I'm going to send it. I'm figuring I just need to go at the post office and see, either I'm shipping it, and I have convention coming up. I'm going to be in Orlando. Some of you want to get it first and then bring it there and have me sign it there. That's fine. Or however. But anyways, later, once the link is ready, I'll put it in this if you would like to grab yourself. But here's what this book is co-authored by 22 6, 7, or 8-figure earners in the network marketing industry. And it is called The World's Best Network Marketing Strategies, Big Ideas from Top Industry Leaders. And we have a chapter each. So this book is on pre-order right now, and you can get them through us, the co-authors. It will be through PayPal or e-transfer if you're in Canada for now. And then I do believe we'll get it on, Amazon and all these places. So, but I've learned how to self-publish a book pretty much. And I'm looking forward to do the one that will have to do with, what we're doing, the High Frequency Thursdays and our group, Happy, Healthy, Wealthy. We have a lot of women and even men that got together. We are now going to put our stuff into a book for the future. So just wanted to let you know that. So we're going to do the same, but about the different topic of what we talk about. And that's been just brand new, coming into the downloads, coming into your brain sometimes when you meditate, and just talking to a few people that reached out about wanting to collaborate and sharing. And I'm like, oh my God, we just have a golden thing. But back to this. If anyone is working from home, if anyone has, and this is not just for network marketing per se, so it can be for any business. You have a crystal business also. Some people have traditional brick and mortar businesses. I'm going to read to you a few of the chapters titles quickly, and then we can continue talking about books, because I know some authors too that might be watching, and people that are planning. And 2-3 years ago when we went to Vegas, we took the team and the leaders to a restaurant, and we had a guy that did a presentation for us on how to self-publish a book. And we still have that training recorded. So I think it's time we talk about that. But 5 effective ways to stay motivated and win on purpose. So that can go to any area of your life. How to effectively start in network marketing and keep the momentum going. That is a good topic. How to recruit 75% more people if you just don't talk about your products or service. Are you guys tired of seeing people post about their products and service all the time? I know that's why we are here sharing about different things, and sometimes you'll see us mention it, or we mention a lot of the products that we don't even promote and sell too. That's the thing. We just keep it real. And that's what I love about the group that I'm with. We are not faking it. We're really changing the name of the industry. A lot of people have taboo thoughts about MLM, network marketing, those online businesses, pyramids, but they're wonderful because you meet people like Brianna and myself that learns to become addicted to self-development, because we see that's how success grows, and we become happy, healthy, and then wealthy. And some people do it all like different way. They can do wealthy first, but for us, that's part of our community and our tribe. Like, we want to keep being better. And when I was asked if I wanted to be part of a book, I was like, oh my God. And this was just amazing. I talk about systems. And a few weeks ago, we talked about schedules, and I talked a little bit about systems, but my chapter is all about that. And how to build a business with stories. And that's the thing, like we share stories a lot too. And this is just it. Like, if you ever feel sold, like Brianna's not here selling crystals in your face, but you know, if you want crystals, she's got the hookup, and we mention it. And we talk about essential oils, and sometimes we talk about different products that we use and the conventions that we go to, like we're meeting in Florida in a few months. So it's just depends on how you portray it. And then how to follow up and not come off as pushy. So I really do care of the people that I talk to and I work with and that I help, because I want to make sure people I let in my life are not going to bring me down. And I don't want to waste time on people that doesn't want to help themselves. So I know if I spend time with someone, it's because I truly care about them and their well-being, and they care about it too. And the vibration and the energy of the people you attract. And I've noticed a huge shift in the last 2 years with the people I work with, the quality they attract. It's beautiful. 4 tips on how to overcome being an introvert. Did you know most successful, my phone just started talking. Most successful networkers that I've, I know and met, and you see like in your face, are introverts. You would never think so, but they go at events. And even me, when we go in Vegas, I'm there 3 days surrounded by hundreds of people who wants to like take pictures. Let's get together. Let's have fun. It's high energy. But then we take 2 days just with the family to like, just, okay, usually a pool, or we relax. And then I sometimes meet others if they're still there. Like, and I used to be an extrovert, now I'm an introvert. So I think this is huge. And especially with the internet now these days, you're always in other people's faces, it seems. And the internet's a very good tool for introverts, because you can still be your type of spicy flavor and bring it out a little bit, and then back out when you need your break, right? So if you're an introvert, don't use that as an excuse of not giving network marketing a try. And then the key strategies to staying consistent and committed. So if some of these topics has interested you, this book is in pre-order. I believe it is $19.95 US. So, but yeah, I will be adding a link later, and just super excited. But thank you, Brianna, for bringing it up. And I even didn't even let you introduce and talk about it. I just went straight in. So if you want to add anything, I apologize. I kind of
no. All I have
excited.
to say is congratulations. Like, I know I said congratulations on your post, but congratulations. That's huge. That's amazing. And I think that I can't wait to read it. And I was sitting here thinking the whole time, she doesn't have 150 copies. She has 149 because one of them is mine already. There you go. Happy, healthy, wealthy is the way to be.
Yeah.
And like Sonia said, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly network marketing. And these books can help you in any way, you know, like I like to read books about leadership and things like habits of successful people and just ways to change your perception. And I feel like that's what this book does. It helps you. And then there's some very specific things, because even as a business owner, you know, you don't want to feel pushy. And sometimes you don't follow up because you don't want to feel pushy, because you care about your customers and you don't want to push them away. And so I think that's really cool. I think that's awesome. I can't wait to read it and learn some new things. And it's so cool to, like you said, follow someone, know someone personally on a personal level, and then be able to read something that they wrote. It's so powerful. It's really cool. And I can't wait to see what else you have to say.
Thank you. Well, I will be interviewing some of the other chapter co-authors, because some of them are part of the accelerator program that I am with GoPro. And I know them a little bit, and they're badasses in their businesses. They're not in mine. And I love that. And I'm like, I love that we can all collaborate. And I know the vibe is going to be just great. So I look forward. I haven't read it, so that's why I actually, I will do it before the weekend is over. I need to. I'm gonna give myself that self-care, and I'm gonna finish a book. Might not be in a day.
That's that book that
days.
You're gonna finish. If there's one, it should be the one that you co-authored. Like, let's do it.
And I'm at the end. I'm like one of the last chapters, not the last, but the one before the last, because it's all about systems. So when they talk about everything, then you put it in. So I'm going to be so excited, and I look forward to see how, I know what the chapters were for like different people, because we all got to talk, and I look forward to introduce you to some of these. Like, I will be going live with them. And then Rob Speary, big thank you to him, because he's been amazing. We did a live together a couple months ago, before he went to do a mastermind private training for our company leaders in Vegas. And I couldn't go because I couldn't leave my country. Even though I earned the trip, I was stuck here. And then he did an interview with me. So I think that was super cool. We got a little preview before he got to Vegas with everyone else. So thanks to him for making this happen. I look forward to do more. And that's the big excitement, because it opened up doors. And then last week I talked about how we want to put together, there's been a lot of people who are awakening in different areas in their lives and seasons, and I feel I needed to have a guide. A lot of people come to my inbox and like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know what to do next. Like, I want to know, but I don't want to know. And they're just like, I don't want to be the one that has to tell everyone everything. We want to point and guide, but we want to give you tools and resources for trauma, because we know there's the beautiful world coming, but to get there, there's a lot of release and maybe grief or things to let go, detachment, discernment, and there might be some cognitive dissonance. Like right now, there's lots of truth happening, and I don't know where you stand with everything in the world, but I do feel there's going to be a huge rude awakening for a lot. And I was like, how can we help them? Like, how can we help them without being the savior all the time, without putting all of our energy, because we're empaths and we need to help ourselves too. And I'm like, I'm just going to interview 20 to 30 badasses that has been helping the last 2 years, whether it's runner groups or do these lives together. And just, I know that this is going to be a big, big help. So I look forward to it, whether it's going to be a podcast or a blog or a book, whatever comes out first, probably some live interviews. But if you have specific topics, or if you'd like to send some value and share and collaborate, definitely reach out. But we do, I know Brianna knows some awesome people too. So we will be looking at putting that together, because right now I want to help a lot of people I love, and I just don't have time to save them all. And that's going to be my donation, right? My way of giving back. And I know a lot feel like that. So what do you feel about that, Brianna?
I am ready to contribute. I feel like I could contribute on different levels, you know, specific topics, just things in general. I am a trauma survivor. I have, you know, been through, I always say, hell and back, and I'm still here.
Right.
I'm still thriving. I think I just cleared some throat chakra energy. Like as I was saying that, it was like coughing it out.
Yeah.
But you know, I am a servant of the people. I have come to find out that is my calling. I am here to help. I am here to educate. I never thought I would be someone who would be in front of a camera and talking, and Sonia helped me in that direction, you know.
I
and
dragged you.
Here I am. No, I mean, I totally had a choice, and it was one of those things where it's like, this is outside of my comfort zone, but it's in a direction that I want to go.
Right.
And to your point, when you have other people that align with your energy and that are there to support you,
right,
not to baby you and hold you and rock you like a baby, but to gently guide you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Give you those opportunities, show you your worth, you know. And I think it's important to put it in a book form, because I feel like so many people get codependent, or it's very easy to get codependent on somebody, where you, part of awakening, part of spiritual growth and development is learning to do it on your own.
Right.
And to learn how to motivate yourself when you don't want to get out of bed, but you have to. You have to learn how to be there for yourself. And so even with all the tools in the world, if you don't feel strong enough on your own 2 feet, which you have to figure out on your own, but can, you know, be guided, like, it doesn't matter if you don't have that baseline, you don't have that, you know, that where you just feel comfortable. Right. I feel like that's where I had to help myself, that no matter who I talked to for 3 hours and told them all my problems, as soon as I hung up the phone, I was still alone with myself, my problems, my challenges, my mindset. And you just have to learn to sort it out. And, you know, I feel like giving someone, it's like giving someone a hug in a book, you know, it's like but also giving them tough love at the same time, because it's also hard to tell people that you love and that you care about, that you can see maybe what their problems are, or some of their energy blocks, or things they could change. You know, you don't want to be the one to tell your friend that. It's not really your place, you know, like, but giving them resources and showing them support. Like you said, even on those crazy days, you have the people that you've attracted to yourself in a good way. You have hopefully some friends, some family, your kids, your spouse, those people that can support you and make you feel good even on those challenging days. But it really comes down to yourself and how far you're willing to get out of your comfort zone and face your fears. Because I mean, I remember thinking about being on video, and people can watch this over and over and over again. Like, and it's just like, it's an ego thing too. It really is. I feel like your ego can hold you back if you're not careful and you're not aware of what the ego is. The ego is concerned about vanity and embarrassment and what people might think about you. But we all know that at the end of the day, those things really don't matter. They really don't.
I agree. And I mean, it's just been interesting to watch too. There's so many people out there that are not living their best potential life because of what others may think. And seriously, it's usually what you need to be doing, because it will inspire them to go and either do the same, or like, there's just we say no more fucks given, you know what I mean? Like, and if you see us doing this, okay, in a video or whatever, you'll just know, just we had a moment, we just let it go. Like, it's just, we can't do anything about it, we just, that's it. And using that in the last 2 years has been like, it's just a movement. It's associated, but in my mind, I know what it means. Especially
you're
if there's
moving
kids around.
energy. It's your intent.
Exactly, right? And I just feel that so many people right now needs to hear these types of conversations and be open about it, because I'm just looking here and make sure we don't have anyone. Yes, so true, perfect. Any questions or anything? But I love that we can come here and just talk and be open, because there's been challenges that sometimes we go through and we're not too sure. And then when we talk about it, when you read someone's book, you have the ability to feel, to put yourself in their shoes, and it's not like you're having a fun conversation, so you can share more of the story. So if you are being that mentor that's pushing them a little bit tough love, you still explain why, and you share your story, or usually an example. So it doesn't feel like, if I would talk to someone right now, like, come on, get out of your funk, like, stop doing that, like, and I just have 30 seconds because we're busy. But when you take time, you write a book and you explain the whole thing, hopefully the whole, even if you have that tough love, the whole message gets, you know what I mean? And I do believe books would do a lot more than a 5-minute conversation. And I mean, yes, we go live every week for about an hour, and these are as golden as books, in my opinion, because all of the tools, everything we talked about, I wish I would have known this years ago, right? But I do believe we had to go through this for us to experience it, so we share it today. There's a reason. And I've always felt like I'm here for a reason. Like, it's more than being a wife and being a mom and a massage therapist. And like, okay, I met Jenna and Josh, and I met these people, and I met her, and this person came in, my business is gone, but now they brought these people, now they're my best friends, and now I've got connected with this, and like, and it's just beautiful. And yes, thank you to the internet. As much as we are like so reliant, and parents are having issues with kids in the internet and all of that, whatever, but I do want to say thank you. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for people who sees that there's something in this world that needs change right now, and that are open to different. Because different can be beautiful if you make it so. Because a lot of people say, I want to get back to normal. I want to get back to normal. But look at 2 years ago, that wasn't normal. We were all on a collapse. We were all, the whole world, no matter where you come from. Yes, there was maybe no mask and no mandates and no scarcity fear. There was still fear in other ways, but the world was obese, unhealthy, unhappy-ish. Most people, unless, you know, there's a small percentage of people that uses law of attraction. Otherwise, the world will be completely different. So this is why we're here, to raise awareness, and whether it is that mindset, or maybe it's the whatever we talked about. Hopefully you grab one thing from our video and you do it. And I like to ask that if there's one thing from this week's episode or video that you're going to do, or you feel you need to change, what would it be? And I know I totally switched topics and I went like, it's like global, but I just wanted to express my gratitude to everyone with us every week. And I'm just super excited to go deeper, because I know we're not done, and it feels good to have good, happy, and healthy days. That's all I'm going to say, because for so long I wasn't happy, and I definitely was struggling. I definitely wasn't happy. I was struggling for my health for more years than I can remember. And now it's better days, happier, healthier, and then wealthier days are coming. So like, if you've suffered, you've been a victim, you've been sick, you've been beaten, you've been down, you've been addicted, you've been abused, you've been anything, just know that you can go into a different route. You don't have to be that victim. My endometriosis doesn't run my life. I used to think that I was stuck with it and was going to be ill for the rest of my life and in discomfort and waste 7 days per month or more being in bed. So and that's just one of the things. And I know a lot of you are survivors and warriors, and you know, there's many different things we can talk about, but you can overcome. I know some of the most bravest people, and some of you are watching, you've gone through, we don't even know that. So thank you for being who you are and being here today and wanting to be the best version of yourself, because it helps us all and it makes this world better. So let someone else go before you, smile to a stranger, double the tip to the person, do something that will make a ripple of good effect in this world, and see if you do something like that every day, even if it's just your thoughts, you can help change the world with us, one person at a time, and start with you.
I love that. I could totally relate to, you know, feeling like a victim for a very long time to health conditions. And then I learned to switch the narrative, and I learned that where I focus, my energy is going to go. And so if I can intentionally shift my focus
Right.
onto gratitude and away from pain, yes, that pain is still there. Yes, that pain is valid.
Yes.
But focusing on it, you feel like you're drowning. You know, when your list of things that are inconveniencing you and upsetting you and challenging you, challenge yourself to make the list of things that you're grateful for longer than the list of your challenges. And that is one thing that has been keeping me going. You know, I said we've been having issues with our house, but I literally said out loud, but I am thankful for the air conditioning that is inside this house, you know, like switch it to gratitude, attract that positivity that we all want in our life. Remember that change is the only thing that is constant in your life, and that you can grab a hold of that and you can make them positive changes. You can put the intent to growth, to positive change, even if it is waking up and drinking a glass of water before you drink your coffee,
Right.
so you don't bloat and give yourself cortisol, which is your stress hormone. You know, that can you're starting your day, you know, like one change can make a huge difference. If you're someone that always has a bellyache, you know, consider that. It's things like that, going
Right.
outside in the morning intentionally, and not just because you have to go somewhere,
No.
but just know that even the smallest change is momentum, it's movement in the right direction, and that you control your life as much as you think that you do. So I want people to remember that, and you are powerful. You can do whatever you want. They always say you can do whatever you put your mind to. And I always thought, oh, that's cheesy, that's corny. Of course, you know, but it's true, you know, like if something that I've learned is like all these sayings that I've heard in my life, like really do have valid basis, you know, they've just simplified it down. And then some point it makes sense. And you're like, wow, maybe I should have listened to that a long time ago. But personal experience and learning for yourself is sometimes how you got to do it. And we're here to share our experiences. We want to hear yours. I want to know, is there any books that you guys have read lately or you're reading right now that you want to share in the chat? Like I said, I'm reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and I am also reading Hocus Pocus too. So trying to keep that balance there to feed my curious mind, but also keep that childlike imagination, creativity going on as well, because I feel like it's just as important.
It is super important, and you need to feel like you give yourself that time too. I've done some dancing around with my son this week. That was my little childish, you know, I have a big speaker out there. I plug my phone on it. I put some, you know, boom, boom music, and we just dance it out. And I don't care what we look like or sound like, because sometimes I sing, and that's my little childish, you know, move and fun. And he loves it. So you are allowed to do that. And when you mention your water in the morning, you made me a light bulb moment, because I wanted to add lemon water, room temperature in my morning. So that's something. I got the lemon, I got the water. So now it's just to remind. So I'm going to put a reminder on my phone actually, and get that going. It actually has some benefits, and if it's room temperature, even better. And then it starts your body digesting and doing the work it needs to do and breaking down things, and it's easier to go on with your day. So I am excited to do that, and prepare some water with fruits too, so it's not boring if you're just a water and coffee drinker like I am.
Yes.
All right, so next week we will have a special guest with us. It is the first time that we bring a guest, and she is from Canada also. And she's been sharing her happy, healthy, wealthy, some different topics, some topics about plants and herbs that can be beneficial that you might have in your backyard that you have no clue about. She posts about dandelions. I say dandelion or dandelions. I call them the wrong name. Hi, Alex. Alex. Il me reste 2 minutes. He's checking in the window if I'm done. He's like, you're done. No, I'm not done. Anyways.
On the dot.
On the dot. Pam Prince is going to be our guest next week, and she's going to share what she's doing in her backyard that a lot of us could do. So with that said, if you have any questions, if you'd like to go read up, we can invite you to her Happy, Healthy, Wealthy group. There's a few posts. She made a guide for plants in there. She's going to be educating us on that and more. So I'm excited. I look forward to it. And that's another thing intentional that I want to do every week. I told my husband, we need to do one thing a week, whether it's go get strawberries, then we freeze them for the winter. Go get the rhubarb there. Let's make jam with a few strawberries. Let's go get some, whenever it's corn, when it's corn season. Every week, I want us to get a different fruit or vegetable and put it in our freezer for the winter. And I suggest if you have availability to do so, make it a family activity, make it a homeschool activity, make it something that, and try to find organic, non-sprayed places too, and support your local farms. And while I'm talking about that, look at that. Woo! I almost broke a chicken egg. So Mika,
that would have been bad.
That would have been, yeah. This is a duck and this is a chicken egg. So yeah,
that's
duck
awesome.
egg is very beneficial for you. Here, Alex, can you put that in the fridge, please, or just there? Thank you. Yeah, that would have been a disaster on my.
I couldn't tell what it was, if it was a vegetable or something at first.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited because that's something that's been, I wanted to do for a lot of years. And if there's a time right now in your life that you should feel nudged to learn about that stuff, I would say do as much as you can now. You know, and nothing feels as good in the winter to have food that you know that isn't sprayed, and especially affordable too, because I don't think the food prices are going down anytime soon. So, and then Mika's, it's his time. We're over time, so they're inside. I love you, girl. I love all of you. Thank you for being
love
here.
You
we
too.
will see you again next week. And thank you again for spending time with us. And I know we went over time, but we started a little bit late. We're not even at the hour right now. So we're good. Happy, healthy, wealthy. If you have any questions for myself or Brianna, put them in the comments. And we would love to hear your feedback as always. If you're watching live or replay, let us know so we know you're there. And we'll see you next week.
Have a good
Any
day.
closing words? We're good.
Just have a good day. Thank you, everybody.